Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Devilor. I'm here with JP, and we have some insane runners that we're going to get started with here today as part of the any percent NMG tournament. We have Satorha, we have Arcandy, we have Destructor, and we have B-Dog. These are names that if you have followed through the Dread community, you definitely know them. Arcandy actually just got a brand new world record in this category as one of the qualifiers just last night, which is insane. So I know we're going to see some really, really big stuff here today. But JP, go for it. How are you feeling about this?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. This is going to be one of my first chances to look into this community. I have run the mode before, so not the most experienced with it, but I'm definitely looking forward to watching this tournament. This sounds like a really fun one. I've loved this game, and yeah, I love to see what these runners can do.
Definitely. I know all of these runners can do some absolutely insane things. Having watched a lot of their runs in the past, I help verify runs at the leaderboard. So having seen a lot of what these guys have done before, I think we're going to see some really, really good stuff here today. Probably a lot of these runners are going to be doing the short boost route, if not all of them. But it looks like we are about to get started. Here we go.
As you saw on the screen, we are playing rookie mode here. We are using rookie mode throughout the qualifiers. Once you get into the bracket stage, the runners can agree to do a normal or hard mode instead. But for the qualifiers, they have to do rookie. Dread will be off. Dread mode will be off limits throughout the tournament.
Yeah, just make sure that there isn't any random surprises and keeps everything on the pretty even playing field, especially during these qualifiers here. So as we can see, everyone's off to the races. Pretty even starts in terms of load times. There can be a little bit of variance there, but not by much. So as we get up into this first Atom room, we see both Sat and B-Dog entering at about the same time. Everybody mashing through that as quickly as possible. And they'll be moving on to the first real big climb of the run. There's lots of different ways that you can route through this room. You can see Arcandy and Destructor both kind of going to the left side, whereas Sat and B-Dog stuck to the right. And here's the first real trick, which is this, it's called a pseudo wave. They're shooting that through the wall. It's like Sat got it first, but the second one, B-Dog's actually going to get first, putting them pretty close in terms of timing. Arcandy and Destructor made it through there now as well, and everyone's heading over here to fight Corpius and try and get early cloak.
Corpius not too bad with this situation. You gotta be a little careful with your missiles, but they got 30 missiles, and that'll be more than enough.
Yeah, this fight early cloak is made pretty easy by you doing rookie mode, just because you have so many missiles. Stat manages to get a first. B-Dog actually ending up going all the way into phase 3, which means that he missed some missiles. Looks like the same happening to Arcandy and Destructor. So Satora clearly coming out ahead in this first fight. But this is very early in the run, and there are so many ways to make up time. It is still anyone's game here.
Uploading data.
So next step, the next big trick that we'll be looking for here is, I call it water skip. It has another name, but I won't say the other name on the commentary. I just call it water skip. They're going to be trying to do a little jump over a slope in order to get up into a area that otherwise they would not have access to, allowing them to skip a whole section in which they have to go down below and drain some water. It saves a whole bunch of time if they're able to get it, especially if they can get it on first or second try. We'll see Sat coming up on it here pretty shortly. You may have also noticed Sat did a little bit of extra maneuvering there that seems unnecessary. There's a few, so there's like a mandatory cutscene that shows you, like, it's meant to indicate that you can, hold on, here's water skip. Sat gets a first try, very nice.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a little cutscene that's like mandatory. It's like a little tutorial cutscene. But if you do some very specific movements in a few different spots, it avoids it entirely. It looks like B-Dog got it first try as well. Ooh, our Candy misses his. Got it on second try. And first try for Destructor. Very nice.
And they're going to have Satora first to charge beam. Big Dog a few seconds behind.
Yep, I believe we'll see a little bit later. The route is pretty much the same up until just after Kraid, but I believe all 4 of these runners are going for the short boost route. The only one I'm not sure of is Destructor. So this should be a very interesting race overall in that sense.
Yeah, they were talking about a little in the race room beforehand. It sounds like they were picking runners who were going to go short boost route, but let's wait and see to make sure.
Absolutely. So now back up through this same climb again. Looks like our Candy's actually taking an extra, extra energy tank there. A lot of runners will skip that one. Looks like Destructor's taking it as well. So a little bit of extra time lost for the runners who are in the bottom 2 slots on the screen compared to the top 2. But that's potentially just a E-tank they're picking up here, and they're going to skip another one later on.
Yeah, so remember these are qualifiers. So your big goal here is just to get a good time to get yourself into the top bracket, or just to position yourself well with seeding. So in these tournaments, it tends to be a little different sometimes with how you route it, just because you might take safeties you normally wouldn't.
Yeah, definitely. I know a bunch of these, but there's some really risky pseudo waves that come up a little bit, probably about 4 or 5 minutes in the run. I'm curious if any of these runners are actually going to go for it, if they're just going to go past it for exactly that reason. It's very, very risky, and it's a big waste of time unless you're able to get it. But you only get like 2 shots at getting it until you have to move on because it's in a hot room.
Speaking of the qualifiers, the way the qualifiers work here is that we're going to be taking each runner will take their top 2 times, and they'll use that for seeding. So if you do have a bad run, you can drop it by just running an extra qualifier.
Sad actually tried an interesting approach to Magus Skip there that I have not seen before, but he was able to get the standard setup first try. Looks like B-Dog gets it first try as well. Sat's onto the first control room. Ooh, Arcandy slips a little bit on Magus Skip. He's having a little bit of trouble with it right now. There he goes. And Destructor gets it as well. Very nice.
Going for the first Demi kill. Looking good. Very nice.
Yeah, Sat going for the very, very quick Emmy kill there, just standing his ground and blasting that Emmy in the face, knowing that as long as he lands all of his shots and starts shooting immediately upon landing on that platform, he'll be able to kill it in time. B-Dog gets it as well. Oh, Arcandy had a little bit of an extra hop there, so he may have to jump over the Emmy here. He's going to.
Yeah.
Destructor actually got the fast kill, but just to be extra safe, went ahead and slid underneath it. So it's this race is a lot closer than it might look at the start. I mean, it looks really close already anyway, because they're only a few seconds away from each other, but there's so much that can happen from here on that, like, I've seen world record attempts that started off where the runner was 15, 30 seconds behind their PB. So this route can really go anywhere. But no one really had a catastrophically bad Artaria, so we're all moving on into Cataris in pretty good shape. See some... Ooh, Satora is actually missing... There he goes. He finally gets it on the third try. Some trouble with that damage boost there.
We give B-Dog a chance to catch up a little bit. Yeah, he got it first try there.
Yep, a little bit of time save for B-Dog there. Catch up. That's a really tough damage boost, by the way. There's a couple of setups you can do that are slightly easier than what these runners do, but they're slower, so why would they do those?
Nice one by our Candy. And yeah, beat Destructor too.
Yeah, very nice. So pretty much everyone got a chance to gain a little bit of time on Sat through that, which is good because Sat is a monster, by the way. There was a period of time a couple of months ago where Sat just went through and got every world record just because he could. Not like every single world record, but pretty close to it. And this is assuming everyone gets Adam skip, which there's no reason not to assume that will happen. The last time that we will see Adam through this run. This is kind of a stressful part of the route for Sat also. Thankfully, he gets a couple of important health pickups there, but there's a damage boost he's going to want to do right here. And he lands it. Very nice. If he'd been lower on health, that would have been very risky. I'm curious how many of them are going to go for the Hell Run here. Like, Sat's going for it. Got a little bit hung up. It's going to be very close. Oh, no, he didn't make it.
Oh.
So that is huge for the other runners. You can see B-Dog now going through the Hell Run. And he's just barely going to be able to make it through. Yeah. So now Sat has to go through that whole section, including that damage boost again.
Yeah, that just changed things up a lot. Our Candy and Destructor have that E-Tank, so it's a little bit of an easier time here.
Yeah, that's really the biggest risk about going for this Hell Run. If you haven't taken that first E-Tank, you have to do everything completely flawlessly through there. And even then, sometimes, like, you're kind of relying on getting a health pickup off of that one bird through there. See if Sat's able to make it this time. There we go.
Yeah.
That's better.
Nice. B-Dog.
Oh, he landed it. The very tricky pseudo wave through the floor. B-Dog actually landed it. I think that was first try as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you only
so.
get 2 tries, but still.
It was so quick, I barely noticed it.
Yeah, exactly. Our Candy tries for it, doesn't quite land it, so he has to back off. And it looks like Destructor's just going to skip it and not worry about it. Destructor actually struggling with that button a little bit. Those buttons are... I hate those buttons so much. It's so easy to just miss them and then feel like you're just wasting infinite time. Looks like no pseudo wave for Sat either.
Yeah, B-Dog was the only one that got it.
All right, we're moving up towards the second button. There is a pseudo that you can do here that saves like maybe a quarter of a second, and B-Dog lands it.
Nice.
You can see our Candy working on Adam skip in the bottom left. The other runners made it past it so fast I didn't even notice. Our Candy gets its second try. Destructor working on it now. Ooh, that was very close, but not quite.
Yeah, Sat going for it right now. Got it. I think it took a second try, but
Yeah, I think you're right. Second try for Sat. Destructor's struggling with it a little bit, unfortunately. It is very tough. There's a lot of very precise jumps that have to happen here with very precise timing. Essentially, what he's having to do is buffer a jump by hitting the button before he even reaches the wall, but not so soon that it doesn't register. And he's getting so close every time. Oh, this looks good. Oh, just barely.
Man.
This is one of those tricks that I think every NMG runner does constantly, but it's so easy to just lose a run to this trick because just your fingers are not cooperating.
Yeah, I definitely can believe that. Yeah, the other three runners have moved on.
There he gets it.
There we go.
That's gotta hurt in the fields for Destructor. But like you said, this is just the qualifiers. He's just hoping to put up a good time. So he's not out of it yet by any means.
Yeah, just qualifiers. You probably just want to try to get to that top bracket.
And yeah, as Ross just pointed out in chat, B-Dog's time right now is actually insane. It's entirely possible. I've seen so many runs that start off insane that end up falling off towards the end, but B-Dog is one of the best runners in the world. So I think we're about to see something really special here.
Oh, Destructor. Oh, that hurts.
Oof. Yeah, there's a couple spots that Green Emmy can be in as you're trying to work your way through here that are just obnoxious to deal with. Looks like he makes it through there no problem this time, but it can be rough. And he's missing that jump as well. That hurts.
Yeah, B-Dog's well ahead right now. Well, no.
He's a fair chunk ahead. He's, I would guess, probably about 25 to 30 seconds ahead of Sat at the very least. And against our Candy, he's probably about 15 to 20 seconds ahead. He's got a fairly substantial lead at the moment, but 15 or 20 seconds this early in the run it's not almost not even worth thinking about. Like while you're running this game, you just don't even look at your times at this point because there's so much that has to happen later on.
Yeah, Ross giving us a little more context, saying that in his world record, he had a little bit of a rough late game. So a good short boost, and he could be on a very good pace here.
Yeah, the nature of the short boost route for NMG really kind of like it's a very, very difficult, very precise trick that happens very late in the run, about half to 2/3 of the way through the run. So it makes it a bit of a coin toss, especially for a tournament like this, going through these qualifiers. It's not the safest route to run, but I noticed some of the runners were talking in the chat before the game, or before the race started, that they didn't feel like having to relearn the old route. They'd rather just go with the short boost route and hope they do it well, which is going to work out well for us because it's going to make a really good race to watch. So B-Dog is on his way out of Dairon. Our Candy is just behind.
Yeah, so a little behind that, and Destructor is basically getting into Dairon as B-Dog was leaving.
It's a little high five on the way through. All right, and B-Dog will be into the second control center. We will have the green Emmy fight here shortly. I'm curious if he's going to go for the... I'm sure he is going to go for the fastest possible kill, which is basically to drop down right in front of green Emmy and just blast it in the face. It's very entertaining to watch because you could almost see the Emmy just confused. Like, why are you here? Why would you do this? And here it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay.
I almost feel bad for it. It's getting bullied.
Yeah, these runners basically have turned it around so that the Emmys dread them now.
Yeah, we're about to see Arcandy try. I think Arcandy goes for the same quick kill. Oh no, he's actually going for the safer approach. This is not the safest, but pretty close to the safest way to kill the green Emmy. And as you can see, like the actual time difference is just a few frames between that and what B-Dog did.
Yeah, they're going the same route.
You can see Destructor just now finally leaving Dairon. B-Dog's actually going to pick up that Missile Plus tank, which is interesting. I see a lot of runners actually skipping that these days. So maybe just a little bit of extra safety for B-Dog.
Yeah, again, like I was mentioning earlier, qualifiers, you might pick up that extra safety, so.
For sure. Especially as you get to the Kraid fight, it's just nice to not have to worry as much about your missiles. Although Arcandy's going to skip it. Sat coming up through. Sat will take it also. And we see Destructor onto that green Emmy control center. Definitely a fair bit behind at this point, but still plenty of opportunity for him to catch up throughout the run.
You got
Ooh,
B-Dog going
gets
for
the... Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to point out that he got the difficult corner shot on opening that door there. It saves like maybe 5 frames, but it just looks cool.
Yeah, it's going for Varia now. Oh, that might have been a little bit of a time loss, but no.
Yeah, the Varia climb it's frustrating because it feels like it should be very easy, but there's enough things going on during it that sometimes it just isn't. Arcandy starting the climb. Sad about to start it as well. B-Dog has definitely got a fairly substantial lead at this point. He's already exiting. He's about to drop down into the teleporter as Arcandy is just now reaching Varia Suit.
Yeah, he's just slightly pulling ahead a little more with each section. So both Sat and Arcandy had some pretty good climbs there.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to get a sense of the timing here. I'd say Arcandy probably 25 seconds behind B-Dog right now, and Sat just behind that. So it is still very, very close overall, but B-Dog has been able to sort of cement himself into the lead he's got so far. And now it's time for Kraid. Kraid is definitely a fight where there's enough that can go wrong, enough that can happen. Sometimes Kraid just decides not to cooperate, and you end up losing a whole bunch of time for no reason. So we will have to watch this very closely as these runners come through Crade.
Looking good on the approach.
Yep, nice and clean up through there. He's actually choosing to start off with just doing short charges in phase 1 to conserve missiles, which is a smart move. It's a nice, quick, and clean phase 1. He's going for the single wall jump. Couple of slip. Oh no, he falls all the way down. That's actually fairly substantial time loss at that point compared to just straight up shooting him in the belly. Probably lost, I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds there for that. But now we're on to phase 2. Just shooting Crade in the face with missiles, and because he was using those short charges in phase 1, he now has tons of missiles to just pump into him, and he's able to get overall a pretty quick Crade. Arcandy's onto Crade now. Arcandy actually starting off with just the missiles. Got a nice pattern on the phase 1 for Crade there. He decided to throw his fingernails instead, which gives Arcandy the option to catch up on some missiles, and a nice single wall climb from Arcandy. Sat having to switch over to the short charges because Crade decided to do his sort of upward vomit attack. Very nice single wall climb from Sat as well. Oh no, Arcandy accidentally got the cutscene, which is, I'm assuming, not what he wanted to do because it's very, very slow. And so Sat's actually going to be able to pull just slightly ahead of Arcandy as a result of that. God, look how close Arcandy and Sat are now. They are neck and neck. All right, and B-Dog is now coming through where in the old route you would go over to early grapple, but we don't need grapple beam. Not in this route. We're going to short boost. He's going straight to the left. He's going to head over and pick up bombs. See if he gets a good positioning on the yellow Emmy. Looks like it. Very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
That's good spawning position for B-Dog. And he gets the single wall jump immediately as well. That's very nice. Destructor catching up to Crade. If he can get a good Crade here, that will be a big deal for him. Bad RNG on Crade for Destructor so far. Going for the single wall jump. Misses the first attempt. Gonna try it again. There it is. Very clean. Got both Sat and Arcandy working through. Oh, Arcandy got the rough spawn for the yellow Emmy, so we had to slow down there a little bit. Sat able to get the single wall jump over right away, as well as Arcandy. Very nice. So Sat actually pulling ahead a little bit more against Arcandy because of the just because of the pure RNG of where the yellow Emmy was standing.
Yeah, I know he's a little rough, but still on a good pace. B-Dog at the bombs.
Yeah, all four of these, to be clear, all four of these runs right now are very, very good. We just happen to have four of the best runners that exist on screen at the same time.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. Like, all of them are doing very well. It's just when you get four runners this good, it's kind of hard to not nitpick the little things that go wrong, because that's really all you can nitpick.
Yeah, and in a race setting like this, like Destructor's run would be a run that like any of these other runners have had 100 times, and they've just gone, well, that run didn't work, and they reset and try again. But it's a race. You don't reset, you just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and a very useful tip that PJY is pointing out in chat. When you're on the Crade fight, and you want to avoid that cutscene, the way to do that is to actually parry his attack and then aim into the wall for a second. You just literally have to point at the wall and then point back, and you can start shooting, and that will prevent that cutscene from occurring. Arcandy. Oh! Or sorry, Destructor, not Arcandy. He got caught by the yellow Emmy. Can he get the parry? No.
Oh, that hurts.
He tried to go... He tried to go for a very, very risky maneuver of cloaking and sliding to get up and around. And it almost paid off for him. Luckily, the yellow Emmy's thirst for blood has been sated, and he's just elsewhere the second time he comes through there. But that's another unfortunate time loss for Destructor.
Yeah, I think Destructor's been caught by 2 Emmys so far. It's been kind of a rough run that way. Got Russ in the chat saying it's about a 48-second lead for B-Dog right now.
Yeah, and it's really showing. But we are about to see B-Dog attempt the backdoor. Or are we not? Oh, here he is. Okay. Yeah, we're going to see him attempt the backdoor into Flash Shift. Oh, he misses it. Second try, and he did manage to land in the middle of the platform as well, so that he doesn't lose some time waiting for the door to open here. So second try is not bad at all, especially with the lead he already has. But we'll see if Sat or Arcandy can use that as an opportunity to catch up a bit here very shortly.
Flash Shift's where the run movement really starts to get fun.
Oh, and that's true, actually, what PJ's saying in chat. You actually have to do the backdoor Flash Shift method. Very nice. First try for, I believe, both Sat and Arcandy there. But with the route they're going, they don't have grapple beams, so they actually can't go the intended method. It's a trick that, like, pretty much everyone who even does the other route at this level of play does anyway. So it's an easy one to forget that you actually can't go the other way. All right. I actually missed how B-Dog did this room. I assume he did the same pseudo waves that we're seeing Sat and Arcandy doing right now. Well, they are back to neck and neck. Sat just barely ahead. Oh no, Arcandy missed one of them. Twice now. There it is. But yeah, that room with those pseudo waves is interesting. You see even top runners still occasionally in their routing, they'll decide to do the old method, which is to go all the way down to the bottom of the room in the water and just bomb things open and shoot through the opening, which means that they then have to do a fairly tricky water bomb jump to get over to the platform. But all of these runners, so far at least, opting for the pseudo wave method.
We'll be talking the third control room, and you can get to see the Speed Emmy next.
This is probably my favorite Emmy quick kill because it's basically just a hop up and then you just shoot him. He's actually going to do a little bit of a dash boost there to get a little bit closer, which saves like maybe 4 frames, but it still looks cool. Absolutely shreds that Emmy.
Yeah. That's definitely a tricky one. If you miss the early shots, that Emmy can get out of control pretty quick.
Yep. Now we see Sat busting open the door, Arcandy in the control room. And in the bottom right, we're about to see Destructor go for the backdoor entry as well. He gets it first try. Very nice. That's a good time save for Destructor. Nice quick kill on the Emmy from Sat.
See our Candy does. Looking good as well. Or maybe a little closer, but
Yeah, actually
still fine.
missed a few hits there. He was getting a little bit close, but it's actually, I'm curious now, this I believe means that where it died, our Candy's actually going to end up on the lower platform, which in a weird roundabout way might actually save him a very small amount of time. Yeah, he basically doesn't have to drop down from that upper platform to his left, which saves like, a really minor amount of time. Not worth actually waiting on, but it makes that time loss from missing those shots less of a impact. Curious how many of these runners are going to take the speed boost E-Tank here. I just saw Sat take it. I missed if B-Dog took it or not.
yeah, I missed as well.
Oh no,
Oh, I
our
don't
Candy
think
got
that was-
locked into
yeah.
the cutscene. He will
He's
take
gonna-
the E-Tank though.
Oh, she's saying that he does that intentionally?
Does he do it intentionally? That's interesting. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, Big Dog did pick up that energy tank. Up to 2.
Yep. And that'll probably be the only 2 that he takes throughout the whole run. We're probably not, unless Destructor tries to or decides to pick up that E-Tank as well, we're probably not going to see any more E-Tanks throughout the run. And now B-Dog has decided, okay, it's finally time. We're going to go grab Grapple Beam. But of course, with Flash Shift, this whole section is Flash Shift and Speed Boost. This whole section is way easier. And now he is on his way over to Short Boost, if I remember the route correctly.
Right. Destructor about to take on the yellow Emmy. Nice yellow Emmy fight for Destructor as B-Dog's going through these cold rooms.
And here is the beginning of the setup for Short Boost. Very smart. He shoots those worms up at the top. And here we go. Here's Short Boost for B-Dog. He's actually going to get himself just a little... Ooh, misses that first shot at it. Seems to be actually struggling with the inputs a little bit here, which is very unlike. Oh, yeah, he had it going, but he fell off the edge, and he's actually lost too much health, and he's died. So now Sat and Arcandy both have a huge opportunity to catch up here.
Yeah, that or Arcandy, whoever gets it first is going to take this lead.
You can see Sat actually missed his first couple attempts, so he's getting some extra health here.
Actually,
I think he got it. Oh, almost. Both of them, Sat and Arcandy, both almost had it, and now B-Dog is actually caught right back up. So now it's whoever gets this Short Boost first. Oh, he almost had it. B-Dog did. Sat as well. Ooh, Sat almost died in that quarter there. Short Boost really not playing nice for anyone right now. Sat might have it. Oh. It's such a difficult trick. And this is kind of what I was saying earlier, like, for a lot of these runners.
Arcandy?
Arcandy got it. Sat is right behind him.
Oh, B-Dog.
B-Dog dies again. Oh, no.
Yeah, Arcandy's taking the lead. But Sat just like a second behind.
This is insanely close. And of course, while all this has been happening, Destructor has been catching up as well.
Yeah, if Destructor has a good short boost there, it's gonna make up a lot of time on these three.
Absolutely. He is on his way to it now. B-Dog still needs to land it. We can see Arcandy and Sat are both on their way out. Literally maybe 3 seconds behind Sat is. Oh, B-Dog almost had it there. He just barely tripped over the edge. It's really such a precise set of inputs. It's why I don't even do this in my runs. I just stick to the old route.
Yeah, I think I'd be sticking to the old route too.
Overall, if you do it first try, this route saves, I think, 3.5 minutes over the previous route. Going for short boost here.
These two are basically tied. Like I think Arcandy's got like a milliseconds advantage.
Yeah. Destructor got short boost first try. Destructor just passed B-Dog.
Oh wow! Oh man, B-Dog, yeah, that's I think his third death there.
Oh man, that hurts for B-Dog, but wow, you can see how, like I said, anything can happen in this race. Wow, first try, I believe it was first try, it might have been second try. Short boost for Destructor, that is huge.
And I'm watching this between Sat and Arcandy right now. Like the littlest differences are like moving them back and forth between the lead.
Oh no, B-Dog, he got the boost, but he wasn't able to crouch in time. That's so painful. God, I can just imagine how B-Dog is feeling about this right now. This cannot be great. Meanwhile, Sat and Arcandy are on to Ferenia. Let's see what they can get in terms of boost here. It looks like, oh no, Arcandy actually stepped on the trap, which means Sat's gonna have a little opportunity to gain a little bit of a lead here. Let's see how they do in the quiet rope fight. Of course, one of the main advantages of the short boost route is that all of these fights become very, very easy because you have screw attack. So they just sort of Sonic the Hedgehog on him a little bit, and he is done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sat actually struggling a little bit with that climb there, which allows Arcandy to reclaim that just few seconds of a lead.
Yeah, these two are like
B-Dog's got it.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh, that was very close. I thought he might have actually clipped the corner there before he got through, but B-Dog has finally got that short boost, and he's going to be moving on. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I was like, this Sat and Arcandy, they just keep swapping back and forth.
Yeah, it is literally, I think it's actually less than a second difference between the two of them right now. Might be just barely over a single second.
Yeah, this is where, like, just the littlest bits of movement, like, right there, Sat took the lead right back.
Exactly, yeah. Arcandy kind of stumbled a little bit with his routing, and now Sat is literally frames ahead of Arcandy. Poor B-Dog just said, "I am in pain, dude," in chat. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, I gotta imagine doing those inputs for that long. Your hand might be hurting a bit.
Absolutely. It's such a precise series of inputs, too, for that short boost.
That's also one of the nice things about these NMG tournaments is that the runners, and a lot of them can just watch along in chat, so they can kind of adjust how they play if they see an opponent ahead or behind. So, give an extra element of strategy to it. Well, I think we'll see that more when we get to the bracket rounds.
Definitely, yeah. Sat and Arcandy both going through this speed boost section. It's one of my favorite speed boost sections in the route. Sat gets it, Arcandy gets it as well. Very nice. It's interesting. Arcandy actually opted for a speed keep through a section that normally you don't see runners actually bother with. Sat actually got that pseudo wave very quickly, so he's going to be able to get a little bit of a lead over Arcandy there. A difference of maybe 5 to 10 seconds now.
Three elevators and
I can't be the only one that does this, by the way. In my head, every time I'm in one of those elevators, I hear the Me channel music.
it's very similar for me. I'm just like hearing elevator music, but yeah, the Me channel music works very, very well for that.
All right, on to this Chozo robot fight. As I said before, having screw attack makes these a lot easier. Just going to, I like to say, Sonic the Hedgehog into him. Not nice and quick and clean for both Sat and Arcandy.
Yeah, I think Arcandy was a little faster, but Sat still got the lead.
Destructor going through that speed boost section from earlier now. And he will get the ball boost as well. It looks clean and simple and straightforward, but the timing on that is by the time you land in ball form, you have maybe 3 or 4 frames to activate the speed boost. Very nice movement from Destructor coming up through that climb section as well. That's going to save him a little bit more time.
Yeah, Sat and Arcandy just staying right on top or right next to each other.
Very clean from both of them getting the diffusion beam on those bugs coming through there. It can be, it's not common, but it is a spot where just occasionally one of those bugs will decide it just would rather live to fight another day and get in your way and knock you down. Ooh, Destructor actually struggling a little bit with this climb section here. It's unfortunate. He's going to go up and fight that Chozo robot. A little rough for Destructor there, but he was able to get through it in a relatively easy amount of time. You can really see as you're watching Sat and Arcandy right now also how just the tiniest little slip up in movement is just growing the lead between, lowering the lead for Sat. We saw Arcandy just a second ago accidentally get himself hit by a power bomb while in morph form, which knocked him up into the air. But that little bit of extra time put Sat now probably about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Arcandy.
Yeah, just the littlest bits. We'll continue to see that as it goes on. I mean, there's still time for things to change again.
Another interesting thing we just saw, B-Dog actually skipped the ball spark for the end of the that Shine Spark section. as he's heading up here. And that actually is very slightly faster. It's a little bit more difficult to pull off because you have to time your flash shifts just perfectly so that you don't get hit with the little beam enemy right in the last section. The ball spark makes sure that you get past him no problem. But it is a very, very slightly, again, just a few frames faster. But I think V-Dog knows the situation that he's in, and he's going to be going for the risky plays as much as he can from here on. Arcandy, I think, actually gained a little bit of time on Sat during that Chozo Warrior fight.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it's about a 2-second difference now between the two of them.
Catching up with Destructor. He is on his way over to pick up Plasma Beam? Plasma Beam, yes. I always forget the name of this one. The green one.
Yeah. Plasma beam. It's a little weird in this one because you're used to like plasma being like one of the last beams you get, but in this game it's the seconds last. You get wave beam last.
Yeah, although in the new unrestricted route, you don't get either of them. Very nice movement from Arcandy going through this Emmy chase section. Sat had very nice movement there as well. Like, they're so close to each other. And here's, I think that's the only actual water bomb jump that we see through this route. There's one that looks like a water bomb jump right after getting early screw, but it's not. Good positioning on the Emmy for both Sat and Arcandy there. Very, very lucky for both of them. And that Emmy fight, that brain fight, as you can see, is very easy when you have both speed boost and screw attack.
You go the ice Emmy. Both got good setup. Very nice for Sat and Arcandy right behind.
That's a 3-second difference between the two of them right now. That's insane.
Here's the ice missile pickup.
Yeah, and if I'm remembering correctly, from this point on, this route converges with the old NMG route, so they should be heading over towards
Early space.
I believe so. Maybe not, actually. Sat and Arcandy are both heading up to the top here. They might be going... Yeah, they're going to head down to Gravity Suit.
Because
Yeah. We're at an earlier part of the run. So yeah, they'll be going and getting Gravity Suit, coming back. They'll come back through this teleporter, then they'll get cross-bombed, then they'll get early space.
Yeah, not converging just yet, but...
See, B-Dog is now exiting Ellen, and Destructor is working on that ice Emmy.
This is one of the more satisfying speed spots.
Yeah, especially when you're just playing the game casually. This is one that you come across if you're trying to 100% just to get this missile pack. Of course, we're going to skip that missile pack because we're on rookie mode. Who needs missiles? But very, very satisfying speed boost to learn through there. This is the section that I like to call vandalism, because there's just a perfectly fine water tower inside the water up there, and we're just going to destroy it because, well, we need gravity suits, so it's got to go.
And Sat's pulling a little further ahead of our candy.
Yeah, about a 4.5 second lead for Sat right now. I actually didn't know if B-Dog was going to get that water bomb jump for a second. It didn't quite look like he got the set. Oh no! He's struggling a bit on this, but he's keeping himself alive with the single wall flash jumps. That's amazing, actually. Such an amazing recovery from B-Dog there.
Ooh, I think our candy just pulled slightly ahead.
Yeah, he's doing a bit better in this climb, so he's going to get into this double robot fight a little bit faster. And in this room, even though they do have... Oh, wow. Sat actually managed to goad them into a slightly better position, and they are once again within a second of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, our candy had the lead for just like not even a minute, and then Sat's already wreck ahead.
That is insane. And what I was going to say is, even though they do have screw attack going into that fight with this route, it's still better once you have plasma beam to try and get them both onto a single platform so you can shoot both of them at the same time. Sat was able to manipulate them. There's a couple of little things you could do to manipulate the way that they jump around. Sat was able to manipulate them so they stood both on the same platform for just a little bit longer, allowing him to get 2 quick kills on them, whereas our candy had to drop down to finish the other one off. And as a result, Sat is now in the lead, but only just.
Well, Destructor had a little bit of a problem with that speed boost puzzle, but got through it.
Sometimes at the end of the day, that's the best you can ask for. But now we're on to Golzuna. This is by far my least favorite fight in this run. But for these runners, it should be no problem at all. There's just some very, very particular setups you have to do. Our candy actually managed to get a slightly better overall setup than Sat, so he is once again going to pull slightly. As soon as he can kill this thing, he will pull slightly into the lead, struggling a little bit with that final speed boost there. But Sat, unfortunately, is having to go the slow way and shoot ice missiles. He will be able to finish it off, but our candy now gaining probably about a 10-second lead. B-Dog about to... Oh no! Sat actually fell down during this section here. He's actually opting to go for the flash shift strategy, which is slightly faster. It's just way less consistent than using cross bombs.
Yeah, you got it, but I lost a little more time.
B-Dog making it through that speed boost section with no issue, by the way. And our candy has just finished the double robot fight and will be moving on to Golzuna himself. Our candy is now basically a full load ahead of Sat. Actually having a little bit of trouble with that speed boost through there. There's a couple quick things you can do in that just to ensure that you get through all of those doors with no issue, but had a little bit of an issue. There's a reverse grapple, easy first try, no problem. Sat having no issue with that that speed boost, so that'll save him a little bit of time. Instructor will be moving on to Golzuna here in just a moment, and B-Dog onto the double robot fight. B-Dog is actually starting to catch back up again, which I can only assume is due to a couple of those little risky plays he was doing and just super solid movement. Very nice and intelligent positioning from him there as well, making sure both of those double robots, even though they failed. Oh no, he didn't actually. That was actually super weird what happened to B-Dog. The thing died like well afterward. It was very strange. I have not seen that before. Tricky little speed boost section here for our Candy, but he's able to make it through. That Emmy can just be in some very awkward positions that make that speed boost. You have to make some snap decisions based on where you haven't seen him yet for that Emmy to be able to get through there the way that he did. A little bit easier for Sat. He was able to tell that the Emmy was not in a dangerous location, so he just went straight through. So that'll save Sat a couple seconds.
Yeah, B-Dog coming up on lost right here.
Yeah, poor SQ has no idea what's in store for him. When you play the game casually through like the intended route, he's very difficult, but well, actually our Candy kind of struggling with the positioning a little bit. It's still a very, very easy fight for him, but
Yeah, the speed boost plus the screw attack combo, this is actually quite easy in speed run.
Sat getting the quick kill, very nice. Flash shifting into the corner. Looked like he tried to go. He actually did get the 2-hit on the X as well. I believe he got the 2-hit on the X. So that's very nice once again from Sat, gaining him just a little bit of time on our Candy.
I believe this is a 18-person race, so there are people racing off stream as well, or off the SG channel. According to our chat, Upla, one of the other runners, is 8 seconds behind our Candy, so we'll have to see who finishes in first this one. It might not be one of our runners here on the restream.
Yeah, as we've mentioned a couple times, this is the qualifier round still, so it's all about the it's presented as a race, obviously, because, well, it's just fun to watch races. But for all of the runners participating, it's all about what is the time that they can get and how is that time in comparison to everyone else's. So it is a race. We're watching 4 of the racers at the same time instead of watching all, what'd you say, 18?
Yep, 18.
I don't think I would want to commentate 18 races all at once. I think that would hurt my
I wouldn't either. 4 can be a challenge at times, as it is. Yeah, once we get into the bracket round, it'll be head-to-head races.
Yeah, so they're basically competing for positioning in the brackets at this point, is my understanding.
Just a quick,
Nice.
oh,
I was just going to point out some nice clean movement from our Candy there.
so just for a quick breakdown of how the brackets work. 48 people can make the brackets. There's 2 different brackets. 24 will be in the walk-in bracket, that's the top bracket, and then another 24 in the bottom Doha bracket.
Of course, the Moth in the top right. So this Emmy fight that we're about to see both Sat and our Candy move on to, there is a very, very tough and risky setup that I kind of expect we're going to see both of them go for. We're definitely seeing our Candy going for it right here in this corner. He cannot miss more than, I think, 2 shots in this whole section, or else he gets hit. Sat's doing the same thing. And it's going to crawl right up to him, and it's just going to pause for a moment, and that pause is just long enough for that head to explode. Give our Candy time to get over top of him and pop him in the face. Is Sat going to get the same? Sat is going to get the same. Very clean from both runners.
He hasn't put as scary as he can get.
It literally walks right up to them and just looks at them. And for some reason, on this Emmy in that corner, the game decides to have the Emmy just pause for a brief moment, and that little pause is the only thing that gives that that quick kill the opportunity to happen. Speaking of quick kills, B-Dog getting the quick kill, and oh, he got a single round on the X as well. B-Dog just annihilated SQ. That is insane.
B-Dog's been catching up on time. He could still get ahead of Destructor here.
That single round on the X, I believe, involves landing a cross bomb and a missile and a charge shot all at the same time. Or no, sorry, a screw attack all at the same time. I'm not sure if it's a missile or a charge shot, but it's 3 hits you have to land all at the same frame in order to get that quick kill. It's insanely difficult. You now see Destructor moving on to Wave Emmy. And both Sat and Arcandy about to deal with the red Chozo. Arcandy going for the... well, he started off with the Storm Missile method. Switched to a little bit of wave spam. Sat did a very similar approach. Destructor in the bottom right, dealing with that purple Emmy in the same way. He's going to get it as well. Very nice. B-Dog on approach to Wave Emmy. Super clean movement from B-Dog through those diffusion blocks.
Ooh, I think... Oh, that's nicer movement there, and he pulled ahead.
Yeah, Sat got some... Both runners actually got some good drops on their power bombs there as well. They are... Sat and Arcade are still just neck and neck the whole way through. It's like Sat's managed to pull just a little bit further ahead with some of his movement through there, but only just. Nearly identical Golden Chozo fights from both of them so far. By the way, B-Dog also getting that insanely quick Wave Emmy kill. Two-second difference between Sat and Arcandy right now.
Yeah, and there's pretty much only like two sections left. You just got the Ravenbeak fight and then the escape.
Yeah, and a lot can happen on the Ravenbeak fight. So there is still, like, this is still anyone's game between the two of them, at least. B-Dog still catching up to Destructor as well.
Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. Remember, this is just a preview of what we've got coming up in this NMG tournament.
Yeah, there is so much of this this level of play coming up in the future. I'm really, really excited to see. Like, this is just, if this is the qualifiers, imagine what the rest of the tournament's going to be like.
Yeah.
B-Dog working on the red Chozo Warrior while we get Ravenbeak for Sat and Arcandy. Both going for gold skip right now. Sat got it. Arcandy got it as well. Now, there are a couple things they might do through this flying section to try and manipulate him into being in specific spots. Looks like Sat's going for it right now. If you can kind of just wedge him in this corner like this, he'll tend to prefer this move, which will give him extra time to fire missiles at him.
Oh man, it's frames difference.
So close. Unfortunate early sun for Arcandy there. Going to force him to waste a little bit of time getting off a power bomb. And a second one now as well. He's going to go ahead and skip the cutscene, though, on the parry.
And so that's out of it first.
Arcandy, unfortunately, getting caught with a couple of extra hits in there. So, yeah, Arcandy's now about 5 to 10 seconds behind. Which means Sat is definitely at a huge advantage going into this escape sequence, but it will all come down to movement from here. How bad would it be if someone got eaten by RBX right now?
I don't want to think about it.
Oh, both runners, Sat and Arcandy, getting through Ravenbeak X, no problem.
Destructor's coming out of the Ravenbeak fights.
There's too much going on right now. It's hard to keep up with all of it.
You can see the lead basically in the timers. It's a 6-second lead for Sat right now.
Sat's movement is so flawless through this escape sequence right now. Checking in on Destructor, he is now into the final phase of Ravenbeak. Seemed to actually have a pretty good time of it through the second phase. Just this last little speed boost section for Sat here. And we have a winner. Arcandy right behind, 5 seconds almost on the dot between the two of them. That is insanely close. What an incredible run from both of them. Honestly, given everything that was going on, both of them took more than a few attempts on that short boost. A 111 is still a very, very, very good time.
Just looking at the race from Sat was first overall with 111.24, Arcandy second 111.29, and then Uplo right behind him at 111.45.
Destructor now on RBX. And B-Dog onto Ravenbeak. It's insane that B-Dog managed to catch up this much after that just completely traumatizing short boost section he went through.
Yeah, that's basically the difference between is just that I mean B-Dog was on a really good pace and then short boost happened and yeah.
I feel like a lot of runs can be described with and then short boost happened.
I believe it. Try to get some of these runners in for interviews afterwards, but we got these last two finishing up first.
Yep, Destructor coming through the last little section of the escape right now as B-Dog loads into Ravenbeak X.
Oh,
For the
well,
memes.
He said
For
something.
the memes. There's Destructor finishing up.
Yeah, fourth overall at 113.39.
B-Dog just decided, you know what? RBX looks hungry. He could use a little snack. There we go. And we're on to the final escape. Nice, keeping that speed through that more fall section. I'm curious if he's going to go for the... There's a speed boost trick that you can do in... I believe it's right here. Oh, it's up ahead a little bit. Nah, he's just going to skip it. There is a speed boost that you can do through there that if you do everything absolutely perfectly first try, saves you, I think, a quarter of a second. And here we are at the final Shine Spark, and there it is. GG's to all of these runners.
It finishes in 7th overall at 115.21. Gala at 114.13 and Sonic Orochi at 114.58 right before him. Yeah, let's get people up here and get some interviews going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got 3 of our runners in here now. Satora, Arcandy, and Destructor. And B-Dog's also joining us.
Hello, hello.
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 Congrats, everyone. That was an insanely solid race to watch. There were definitely some twists and turns for some of our runners. I feel so sorry for you, B-Dog. I'm so sad.
Oh, is that like
But-
3 dots? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I expected it at some point. Better to
It's-
happen now.
Yeah, it's one of those runs that, like we were saying while you were going through it, like this would have been a reset a while ago if it wasn't a race. So props to you for sticking through it, and Destructor as well. With those Emmys just really hated you today. How are you feeling about that?
Honestly, really, really freaking bummed. Like a minute and 20 on Adam Skip, which like it's been months since I've struggled this much. And then 2 deaths. I mean, 15 minutes into the race, or rather, right after that death to Green Emmy, I considered quitting. Which was like that's why I said if you want to swap me out per stream, feel free to do so. And if I noticed that it was the case, I would have just left. But stick through, and you know what? Worth it. My honor is saved. Got that one trip. I'm fine with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you were the only one to get. You were the only one to get. It was first try short boost, right?
Well, first try short boost, and also in the sense that usually the safety strat is to break the wall with the blob before attempting short boost. Here, I just instantly went into the cold room, did not bother resetting like the cold state. Instantly went for the like the short boost storage, manage to get it, break the blob, and like I call that a one trip. Well, we call that a one trip. I'm not sure if it's the global term used in the community, but
I don't think anyone does it enough for it to have a name yet. I'll be honest. It is.
Like,
it is so hard.
it is extremely hard. It is possible, but let's be honest, it's not something I would have attempted on a run that wasn't as bad as the one I was on.
Well, it's certainly made for. Yeah, go ahead.
There's another variation of the one trip, so we probably have to come up with distinct names for those two.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't think it's doable with 2 tanks either, is it? You need 3?
I don't think so. Yeah, even with
Yeah.
3, it's already super
Yeah.
close. So 2 tanks sounds kind of.
Well, if you skip the melee, you could probably do it.
True, actually.
I guess.
You just gotta YOLO it.
I mean, even that. Like, what do? Do you just like hug the door, walk a little?
Yes.
Maybe.
That doesn't even sound like a great amount of time. Or maybe if you get if you melee the bat before entering the cold room and have the drops following you, but that just wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, honestly.
Really. It's like 0% strat.
Yeah.
So, Sat and Arcandy, you two were neck and neck for basically that whole race. There were points where, as we were watching through, just the tiniest little, most insignificant movement slip-ups you could think of would cause the two of you to flip-flop in positioning. Sat, I'll start with you. How did you feel about that run overall? How are you feeling with that?
So, as we all know, I had a hell run incident. And after that, I kind of checked out because I think I missed Hell Pseudo. I wanted to retry it, but then I thought about it. It was not a good idea. And then I got ADM in one, and after that, I was kind of cruising. And then the next major mistake I made, besides the short boost debacle, was 50 minutes in. I fell down Berenia Tower. I don't know if anyone caught it, but Ark and I were a second apart, or less than a second apart, on gravity acquisition. And then I went all the way up and tried Ark's flash wall kick morph strat after you spark up the tower the second time. And then I fell. So after that, I thought it was doomed. And then I checked back on green TP, and it turns out we're even again. And then I failed Glazuna in the worst ways possible. I haven't messed that up in months. So I don't know what happened. And then I checked that again. And then I tried for the cross-bombless cross-bomb puzzle, the CBS we call it. I messed that twice. So I'm actually really surprised that I caught up. So I want to extend the question to Arcane, what happened?
Wait, to me at Gold Zone?
Yeah, just after that, because I swear on Enter Hanubia, I was entering the tram and you were leaving the tram. So were there any freak accidents on your end past that point?
Well, I messed up the core a big time. I must have hit the core 3-4 times trying to build a speed boost. It was really dumb. I messed the first Insta Spark and then had to redo it several times. And after that, I messed up a best time save of the year in Hanubia. I think I messed up a bit of movement to SQ. SQ fight was also pretty bad. I didn't get the Shine Spark in the double bot fight, but surprisingly didn't lose time with mashing. From then on, I had a pretty bad red Chozo fight. Even worse, Powerbomb RNG onto gold Chozo.
Yeah, same.
And Rivenbeak was not great. I think I had whatever RNG in phase 3, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
but
I think I
lots
had
of back and
better.
forth.
I had slightly better RNG on RB. I remember watching your fight while I was doing my fight. So I was quite unfortunate. RB is a coin toss. So yeah, GG still. I'm not really happy with the
GG,
run.
man.
I doubt any of us four are really happy with it. But
I'm definitely not.
Clearly not.
Yeah,
I
because I got the
doubt.
SQ1 cycle.
oh, you did. That's right.
Oh, that's hype, dude. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, that was a showcase stream
so
for real.
it was so beautiful. That kill is so pretty.
Yeah, there were so many things that occurred through that whole run that it was B-Dog's 1 round kill on the X after SQ. What exactly is that? I've seen it done once before. I think by you. What all are you doing to get the 1 round on the X after SQ?
So basically, when the Korok spawns, it has no iframes when it's still like forming. So if you can fit in enough damage to kill it, what we do, we lay a cross bomb right after we kill SQ. We do a quick charge, ice missile, and then a respin to screw attack it, and then another ice missile.
Oh wow, so it's even more complicated than I thought it was.
It's like
Yeah,
in
that
less
sounds
than a
really
second too.
tight.
It's in less than a second. Even less than that, actually. It's like 2 steps under a second. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, you have to deal that damage really fast.
Hmm.
and the way I did it, normally you would do it with Space Jump, which makes the timings a lot more lenient. Without Space Jump, it's extremely tight.
I think it goes from input variance when you have space jump to position variance if you don't have it. Because if you're not in the right spot ever, you just get locked out, right, or something.
That and the Korax can just blast off in slightly random directions.
Yeah. Unbelievable that you hit that, actually.
Well, like I said, GG's to everyone. Any last thoughts or questions from anyone?
We kind of suck, guys, don't we?
I guess we're beat from this run. huh?
Like that was bad, no?
Yeah, that was something happened to all of us.
I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was
No.
definitely below standard.
Of course. Like
Yeah.
objectively, what we deliver is very good. Subjectively, let's be honest, none of us four are satisfied. But you know, some of these races are needed, and I guess it produces good moments. Like we just allow ourselves to do stupid things that we normally wouldn't on good paces. So hey, if it's on restream for seeding races, let it be for the show.
For sure. Until I match against any of you, then Murderface turns on. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
mean, you know, if it keeps going like this, and hopefully if Upla doesn't come up with another 111 and just sweeps my 4th seed out of my hands, that wouldn't be before winner semis. Usually, well, normally if we follow the seeds. So, and like, let's be real for a second. I got put on restream in the middle of 3 of you. I really felt like the elephant in the room.
It's I mean, even then, right? Like, it's not like you played poorly, so you just got to do the best that you can, right?
Oh, for real.
It's all that it is. Just show your best. So I'm like, I don't know how much this means, but I am like, I have a lot of respect that you stuck through after the Catarist debacle.
Mhm.
So yeah, man, props to you.
Thanks.
Props to B-Dog as well for not
B-Dog as
FFing
well.
immediately.
Yeah, props to both, really.
The guy
Like,
died 3 times.
I also had this desire to just quit, but hey.
So
I
I
didn't
guess-
quit because Destructor didn't quit. That's the only reason why I didn't.
To be fair, that would have looked pretty bad if you just had 2 blank screens on a restream.
Well, we're definitely glad that everyone stuck through it because we got to see some really amazing stuff as a result later in the run, even if it wasn't necessarily your favorite time. I mean, you're all still 20 minutes ahead of my time, so I can't really talk. But that was still an amazing showcase and some really, really impressive times for a race environment, at the very least. So thank you all so much, and GG's once again.
Cheers to everybody.
Jeez. Thanks for
GGs.
having us.
Well, looking ahead, we got coming up. There's still one more qualifier today. It's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. So that'll be also, I believe, be restreamed. Yep, it's going to be on SpeedGaming 2. And this is just the first weekend. We've also got another weekend coming up next weekend. So 5 qualifiers left. Still time to get in. Still time to watch some of these qualifiers before you get to the bracket stage.
Absolutely. This tournament is shaping up to be just insane. And not just because Justin Zane is in it, but it is shaping up to be just insane. So definitely continue to tune in to all these qualifiers, runners continuing to run, and we're going to see some amazing stuff.
Yeah, thanks for carrying me through this, Devilor. And yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Why don't you take us out? Well, thanks for watching and have a good day. We'll see you tonight for the next one.